Good morning. It's hard for me to believe that I started Coffee with Bob back on March the 28th, 2020, literally 15 months ago. When we went into this pandemic and we suddenly had to shut down church and we weren't able to meet in person, as a staff we got together to try to dream up ideas. What could we do to help us stay connected? What could we do to help provide encouragement to our family of faith? And so we came up with the idea, what if I did Coffee with Bob each morning and Reverend Wendy Lambert did Weekdays with Wendy in the evening? And that way you could have something in the morning, you could have something in the evening, something to help you think about your faith, something to help us stay connected as a family of faith. We really thought that would go on at least 3 or 4 weeks, maybe a month and a half. None of us ever dreamed it would go 15 months. 15 months. And I have to tell you, now that we've gone 15 months, we're getting back together and church is going well. People are coming back and being able to be in worship again. People are getting vaccinated. People are feeling more comfortable. And I'd say that we're now probably back to 60% of average attendance, what we were pre-pandemic. No, every week I see new people that I haven't seen in maybe 15 months. But we're coming back together. And so we were evaluating all the programs and the things we've been doing over the last 15 months. And we have so enjoyed doing Coffee with Bob and Weekdays with Wendy that we made the decision that we didn't want to stop. But we did want to be more effective in the use of our time because of all the programming that is starting to happen again at the church. And so Wendy and I decided that we wanted to join together in producing these morning devotionals, Coffee with Bob. So from now on, you're going to be seeing me and Reverend Wendy Lambert as we share different times each week our ideas on how to stay strong in our faith. And as each of us takes time to go on a vacation or has other things, one may be doing all of them that week and one may do them all the next week. We're just going to work together to make sure we continue on with this daily devotional, inspirational type of time. Because what we want to do is make sure that we continue to encourage each other. If there's anything we've learned in this pandemic, is we need each other and we all need a little bit of encouragement. You know, I did grow up in Houston, and I loved football. And so I cheered for the Houston Oilers, but they were usually a pretty bad team, except for the time when Bum Phillips was their coach for a while, and Earl Campbell was their running back. We were good, but there was a whole lot of time we weren't. But I also cheered always for the Dallas Cowboys, and they were good most of the time because they were good with Tom Landry. Tom Landry started off playing football, played defense, and he was tough. I mean, they said when he hit you, you weren't sure you were going to be able to get up. When he retired from playing, he became the first coach ever for the new franchise, the Dallas Cowboys. You used to see him walking on the sidelines on Sunday, dressed in his suit, beautiful hat, and he never was emotional. If they made a bad play, he didn't take that hat off and throw it on the ground. If they scored a touchdown, he didn't throw it in the air. He was always calm. You see, he was always thinking, what's the next thing we need to do? If we made a mistake, what do we need to do to fix it? If we scored, what do we need to go on and do next? Always thinking. People said he just has ice in his veins. He's just a cold person. Nothing could have been further from the truth. Tom Landry was a very active member of Highland Park United Methodist Church, one of the great Methodist churches there on the edge of the campus of SMU in Dallas. And if you talk to any of the pastors who knew him and people in the church, they would tell you Tom Landry was one of the most warm and compassionate and kind men you could ever hope to know. Quite often he spoke at Fellowship of Christian Athletes, the FCA, always wanting to encourage these young men, these young women, in being able to be the best that they could possibly be. And whenever he spoke at FCA, he always brought Bibles, and he was willing to hand them out to anyone who wanted one for free. But to get it, you had to come up and see Tom Landry. And he would ask your name, And then he would autograph the front page with your name and then give a quote from Paul's letter to the Ephesians that simply said, "Let us mutually encourage one another." That's what he wanted to inspire in them, that they needed to be encouraging one another, because that's how we make it as Christians in the world. It is how we need to encourage one another. It's why we're going to continue on with Coffee with Bob. And if you and I remember to encourage each other, we will be the ones who really are sharing God's love and bringing hope in the world. Have a good day.